Man, oh man, James Gunn is out there giving a lot of different interviews, and he's been talking a lot. There's some stuff with Henry Cavill that he wanted to do already with Superman. James Gunn says that WB already fired him before he was even hired. So we'll talk about that. He said something about Marvel. Superman's coming up right around the corner. There's Masters of the Universe news, new images of characters, that and more on the show here today with myself, Mike, and Roxy. So thank you guys for joining us as always on the show. We got a lot to discuss. Let's get into it. It's Kristian Harloff Show. Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the show here today. It is the Kristian Harloff Show on a Tuesday. Now, normally it's just me and this lovely lady, Roxy Stryer, but this rogue agent joined the show today. It's Mike Kalinowski. So the three of us are here. Roxy, how are you?
I had no idea Mikey was going to be here today. We just got DC casting. Okay.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, there's another thing that we're going to discuss today is that Clayface has been announced. The actor has been officially announced. So we're going to we'll talk about that. So we'll also give you guys, because Mike and Roxy got screwed last week and didn't even get to play in the competition. Roxy was a victim of my schedule, and Mike and Steph were a victim of the StreamYard. So this week,
I heard about that debacle.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
It was awful.
Yeah,
but it was fun.
It was fun.
Affected all of the companies I work for. That's crazy.
It was the worst. It was the worst. So, Roka started off strong yesterday, guys. 112.
Ooh, by himself.
Okay.
Yeah, by himself. All by him lonesome.
Not the whole outlaw nation.
They're into Roka these days. They're into him.
Or they like to yell at him. Either way. So let's get into, because I'm sure you guys have been following all this stuff that's been going on with James Gunn. Clearly, the press for Superman has begun. He's out there discussing. He's been saying a lot of different things. And as DC peeps, you guys got to be happy with all the information that you're getting in general. But this was an interesting tidbit that came out of this. And forgive me, because my glasses broke today at the gym.
What are you going to do, Kristian?
You got to have like 4 or 5 pairs. Come on.
They're all at my place. That's the problem. So we're going to see how we do today. What's hilarious is this. If you guys really want to see what's going on here, I'll show you. I have to let me. This is actually pretty funny. So do you notice this, Roxy? Can you see this? What's going on?
Those lady glasses?
They don't look. Oh. I was going to say there's something a little wonky, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
I have to go like that in order to see anything right now. That's how bad this is.
Wait, Kristian, it's better to have them with one than it is with none?
No, not. I mean, only if I'm blinking. It's pretty horrible either way. But DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn has confirmed that Warner Brothers wanted him to recast Henry Cavill as the Man of Steel before 2021's The Suicide Squad, and talks more about his approach to the Superman reboot. Josh Wilding writes, in 2018, Disney fired James Gunn when a series of offensive past tweets resurfaced, with fans and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3's A-list cast heavily criticizing the decision. Warner Brothers wasted no time enlisting the filmmaker's services. That led to Gunn helming 2021's The Suicide Squad. While he'd eventually returned to Marvel Studios to finish the Guardians trilogy, Gunn's newfound relationship with the rival studio led to him eventually being appointed DC Studios co-CEO. It's no secret that Warner Brothers offered Gunn a Superman movie before the Suicide Squad, but it wouldn't have been a Man of Steel 2 or a movie starring Henry Cavill. This is what he said in EW. Warner Brothers initially offered Gunn Superman prior to directing 2021 The Suicide Squad back in the previous era of DC storytelling. Even then, before plans were firmly in place, the studio wanted a new actor to play Superman after Cavill. So it was even more messy than it is now, Gunn says. But more importantly, he adds, I didn't have that special idea of what that film would be. This lines up with various reports claiming that Cavill had quietly been fired from the role of Superman after refusing to make a cameo in 2019 Shazam. It wasn't until The Rock went over his employer's heads to bring Cavill back for Black Adam that Warner Brothers' hand was forced, and Cavill was tapped to appear in The Flash and a potential Man of Steel follow-up. That never came to fruition, and when Gunn took over, he immediately decided to recast Superman's title role. As far as what that special idea ended up being, Gunn noted, over the years, the stories that I've told have gotten more, how do I say it, less in your face. I wanted to tell the story about someone who is truly good in a world that doesn't value goodness, in a world that makes fun of basic kindness and basic human values. The fact that he can fly and lift buildings and shoot lasers, beams out of his eyes, was really secondary to who he was as a person and what he stood for. Cavill's time as Superman came to an unceremonious end, as he didn't shy away from expressing his disappointment with Gunn's decision. However, he got to take another crack at a superhero with his unforgettable cameo in the Calvarine in Deadpool and Wolverine. This is interesting all the way around, Rox, because, you know, like we said, the stuff that I really liked in this, and in general, what James Gunn is doing, he's been very clear in talking about how it's not just this impervious to pain, indestructible version of Man of Steel. It's going to be a vulnerable Superman. It's going to be someone that can be beaten. And it's also going to show his human side, which is essentially the essence of what Superman is about. It's about him becoming a human and him finding humanity, being raised by human beings. So I like those comments. I like the idea that he really does understand. It seems like he really, really gets, and I'm going to get Mike's opinion on this, obviously, too, as the big DC guy.
Nah.
But he seems like he gets Superman. Like he really understands the essence of what Superman's all about. Before we get into the Cavill side of it, do you agree with that assessment?
Just about Gunn understanding Superman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. You know, I'm rereading All-Star Superman right now because that is what he has said. He's pulling a lot of inspo for this. And I think it's so funny to watch all of the people online be like, why is Superman keep getting his butt kicked in the trailer? Superman's not supposed to be weak. Superman's supposed to have no weaknesses other than kryptonite. La, 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 la. And anybody who's read that comic knows that he like continuously keeps getting his butt kicked like
right.
so many times because Superman's about how he gets up, not about what gets him down, and about hope and about being somebody who, despite him being not relatable to us at all in any way, because he's an alien who is all powerful, he's so relatable to us in his feelings and in what we aspire to be every day. I actually really, really like All-Star Superman. Mike, I have never even talked to you about it. I'm curious your thoughts on that as well. But I think that James Gunn clearly has a good grip on Superman so far. These quotes didn't help me think that, though, which I know you said we'll get to that. But these quotes were kind of like, huh, I wonder I wonder what is going on here or what went on here in the past.
Right. What do you think about this, Mike? As far as like Superman and Gunn's, you know, understanding of the character?
I think the most telling thing is the fact that he didn't want to do it 5 years ago when he didn't have an idea.
Right.
Like the fact that he had like you can tell filmmakers when they're given a property that they have no connection to or don't know the story. The script was written and they just were like, all right, well, yeah, I'll take a crack at it, as opposed to, oh, now I can do this because now I have this story I want to tell. And I think everything about it, like as far as his powers go, like I kind of course, got into it with people online about this. And oh Christ.
Just go with it. Just go with it. Go ahead.
The original animated series, Superman the animated series, that was a big point of Bruce Timm and them. They were like, we needed to depower him because it's just not fun. The stories aren't good when he can beat anyone except like Darkseid, and then it's a bit of a challenge. So it's like you got to have him. And again, he's not powered. He's still got his powers, but things slow him down. I remember there was one scene, like it was a robot attacking him with like machine guns, and it was like slowing him down. He was still going forward, but it was a little bit more of a challenge. So I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I like the idea. I want to see how they're doing. I like so far the idea of putting together emotional characters within the Superman universe and bringing this comic accurate Superman is very intriguing to me. I'm very excited to see how they're going to make this work leading into the DCU overall. Now the Henry Cavill side of it is very interesting because it does seem like the powers that be, I think it was Walter Hamada at the time, or whoever it was, didn't want him anymore. They wanted him out. Now, whether it was like pettiness as far as because he didn't want to do the cameo or whatever it might be, they didn't want him anymore. They wanted to get rid of him, but also it's a bit of a head scratcher because it just shows you they didn't really have a plan over there because there was no plan. It was like, well, if you're not gonna, yeah, go ahead.
The fact that they said he's he wanted my new Superman, but we were still going, but they hadn't like that other hadn't stopped yet. Like you just like it was like spaghetti at a wall, seeing what would stick. And then when The Rock came in, like, did anyone actually believe when he was all like, we're gonna bring the power back and the power shifting, and DC's like, what's going on here with this? Like,
he believed it. And
The Rock did, sure, but
right. And the thing is with that movie, that's the other thing. This is what I talk about. Like, if that movie would have if you would have scaled it back a little bit and you would have made that movie for cheaper and bring in Henry Cavill in there, they might have had a shot to build out the DCU. If you look at it,
man,
the movie cost almost like $300 or $400 million. No, not that much. But I think it was a really high price, 200, 250, whatever it was. It was a high price. Whatever that was, too much. And if you would have made that movie for, let's say, if you would have taken a cut in The Rock's cost, whatever it might have been, made it for like $85-90 million. The movie made like $400 million, something like that, or 390, whatever it made. It got close to making its money back, but or a little less, whatever it was. It was a failure because of that. If it would have made money, you had a shot to continue it on.
To what, Kristian?
To maybe have The Rock have a little bit more power than he ultimately did. It was like, well, you can't
go down that thought for a second. If it had made money, then what? We would have gone. What would have been our slate? What would have been our?
Well, it was probably Black Adam related, obviously, because remember they didn't want to. You didn't want to remember the whole thing, that the fallout that happened with Zach Levi, where there was the back and forth with The Rock that he didn't want to do Shazam. It was too goofy, but it looked like it was gonna be Black Adam, another Man of Steel movie. The Rock was trying to get a hold of the DCU seat. He was trying to get the King's chair, and if it would have been Black Adam heavy, followed by Superman stuff, that would have been what it was circled around.
So Black Adam, Shazam, and Superman.
I don't even think Shazam would have made the cut, but I think that's what you would have. I think that's what you would have started with.
I just think even if it had made money, we would have ended up eventually in the same spot. I agree with you.
Agree with you more.
They might have given The Rock a little more reins for a brief time, but ultimately we would have ended it here. I just think it's wild to think about. Like, I'm having crazy deja vu and flashbacks having Mikey here and hearing about all of these past rumors that we used to talk about every single week about, like, what's going on with this? What's going on here? And remembering how confusing some of the news stories were, because it was like, wait, what? So you're telling me in the middle, after only having one Man of Steel movie, you guys were thinking about recasting Henry Cavill, not rebooting, just recasting Henry Cavill? That's how they're phrasing this.
It was petty. It was petty.
We were thinking about recasting Henry Cavill. What? Yeah. In the middle of your DCEU, you're going to recast your Superman out of the blue?
No, it was
bonkers. I mean,
silly. But I do understand. But this is why I said, when we were talking about this, Roxy, 2 years ago, why it all made sense that everybody was going to be recast inside the DCEU. But at the time, politically, they couldn't say that because they had movies coming out.
Imagine if they had just recast.
No, I know.
Did nothing.
Well, you can't do that.
Also, I don't even know, Kristian, if politically they felt like they couldn't say something, because look at what they did before Flash came out, where they were like, by the way, we're done. So see this movie or don't see this movie, but has nothing to do with us anymore.
Well, yes and no. Remember that when that was happening at the time, remember what the question was and the way he skated around things. Like, will Gal Gadot come back? With Ezra Miller come back? And the answer was always, we're going to keep the door open, which was code for, if the movies do well, we're going to be in a bad place. Basically, we want it to do well, but if those movies, if the Flash would have made, let's say hypothetically, the Flash would have made $800 million, and Shazam 2 would have made $600 million, and Aquaman 2 would have made $1 billion. James Gunn would he'd have problems right now because you look at the Batman. The Batman is a very successful movie that people want to see a second one to, because the first one was so successful and everyone loved it. If everyone loved those other movies, they would have problems. So
you don't think they contributed to the downfall of that era, though, with their announcements? Like, I don't think when you said they wanted them to succeed,
Oh,
I
yes,
don't think at that point they were like really hoping for the success of this.
I don't think James Gunn and Safran wanted them to succeed. I mean, well, Safran probably wanted Shazam because he had a producer credit on, but I mean, and so any on the other ones too. But business wise, it helps them that Warner Brothers does well. But like I said, they're in between a rock and a hard place because it's like, what do we do here if these things really make money? But yes, they have to announce their slate. They have to say, listen, this is what we're doing moving forward. And it was like, that's why they always said, we'll keep the door open. They never were going to keep the door open. It's like the door hit all the actors right in the ass, except Momoa. It's like, hey, you know what? It's going to hit you in the ass, but it's going to turn you back around. You're going to turn into Lobo on the way back in. That's all.
There's still people out there who think that Gal Gadot is going to be Wonder Woman.
No world.
I mean,
not a chance.
I am not, guys. I am not people.
No, I know you are. I know.
Just saying,
you are a person, Rox. You're a person to me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Because of the door open comment, there's still so many people out there. Honestly, what I think would be really smart, and again, bear in mind that I've just been rereading All-Star Superman, so of course I'm all about Bizarro Superman right now. But like, is there a world in which Henry Cavill could continue in the DCU, not as Superman, but like the way that everything really worked in Deadpool and Wolverine with all of the cameos? Is there a world, maybe not in this one, but down the line, we get a Bizarro version of Henry Cavill or something along those lines? I think that'd be so much fun.
Well, that's two different things. Would it be fun? Right. Yes.
Would it happen? I don't know. I think it would be awesome.
I think there's no world where it happens. I think the bridges were just burned too badly for them to mend, even though they're pretending that it's, oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's great. No ill will. Bullshit. I think that Marvel is very likely. I'll tell you though, out of the three franchises, I think Star Wars is where he ends up. I think he's going to show up in Star Wars. Yeah. I think he's going to show up in Star Wars. In one thing or another. But he's got that Voltron movie coming out or whatever it is. But look, I don't necessarily think he got screwed, and it was horrible because he was out there promoting it. I remember him being on Josh Harwood's show saying he's coming back, he's doing this whole thing, he's promising. He got screwed. Out of everybody, he got screwed, and he never really had a chance to have his second movie here. People loved him as Superman. He got screwed. I don't blame Gunn. I don't blame Safran for it. They had a job, and we've talked about this, Roxy, too, so many different times. It wasn't in their vision. It wasn't in their vision to have him as Superman.
Okay, question for you guys in hindsight, because of what you just said, Kristian. I completely agree that he got screwed, but do you feel like people across the board loved him as Superman?
Yes, I do.
Mikey?
I think there is a corner of the internet that loves him as Superman.
Yeah.
I don't think the general public loves him as Superman. I don't think the general public loves his movie that he was in. I think the general public loves him as Superman. I'm telling you, if you put a poll up on
now in hindsight, Kristian, but it's interesting because I keep hearing people say that he was so loved as Superman at the time when week after week we were talking about the audience reception. He was getting slammed as Superman.
He was?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He was like, he's wooden. He doesn't emote. He's this, he's that.
I remember that.
Yeah, he was getting slammed.
Do you remember, Rox, the backlash about, wow, he said 63 words in Batman vs. Superman. They were like going after him.
Well, yeah. I remember him getting the stuff with the mustache and stuff, but I don't think that was.
Well, that was after. That was even later. But like during BVS or during BVS, he was not like, oh my God, the Superman that he is. He's awesome.
There was a
lot
of
not good, but he's
Superman.
Awesome.
Yeah, like he was dark Superman. But it is interesting, Kristian, because you're not wrong in the fact that now when I listen to people, everybody refers to it as he was so loved. And I do, looking back, even myself included, I struggled with his performance in Man of Steel.
Really?
And going back, I much prefer it than when it came out. So
I think maybe that's what it is, because I like that movie from the get-go. And a lot of people have warmed to it since it came out. So maybe that's what it is. The same type of thing.
I've warmed to him so much. But okay. I remember at first we would talk about it every weekend, and the big problems were that people didn't love him as Superman. But now everybody like rose-colored glasses with it, and not just rose-colored glasses. I also think that we've grown respect for what he did with the role, knowing everything that was going on behind the scenes, and that he did end up getting totally screwed.
Yeah, I think so too. What do you guys make of all of this? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. Do you think that he got screwed? Do you think he was a great Superman? Do you like James Gunn's comment? What do you think about, in general, the essence of what this new Superman could be? Put your thoughts in there, whether it is in the live chat, whether it is on the replay, and of course on the Clips channel. We're over 10,200 subscribers on the Clips channel, and we're getting new people joining there, leaving comments every single day. So make sure you check that out. It's just my name. You go to Kristian Harloff Clips, and it's also the link is in the description. We got more comments from Gunn, other things he said about Marvel. But before we do it, I want to tell you about Trade Coffee, and I'm going to tell you about Hydro. Here you go. Man, oh man, I get it. You're like, I have my go-to coffee. I'm good. It's familiar. It does the job. Yeah, but then I tell you that you're missing out on something way better. Trade. They introduce you to new, freshly roasted coffees, and they're next level good. Once you taste it, there's no going back. I'm not kidding you. It'll ruin boring coffee for you forever in the best way possible. Trade is the #1 coffee destination, bringing you fresh coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. You take their quiz, and in under a minute, they're going to match you with the perfect coffee. If that first bag isn't quite right, Trade's going to replace it for free until they nail it. Trade's prices are on par with grocery store brands, but the quality, it's next level. Plus, you're supporting local roasters, and it is a win-win. I love it. I've been using them for so long. I've been talking to me. If you've been listening to the show, you know how much Trade is like my thing. I have this big bag right now. I'm going to switch over to the next big bag because that one's out, and I've been using it. I've been every morning just been like, oh, here we go. I get excited for my coffee because of Trade. Right now, Trade is offering our listeners 50% off your 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/Kristian. Exclusive offer for you guys. That's drinktrade, TRADE.com, Kristian, for 50% off your 1-month trial. drinktrade.com/Kristian. Warm weather hits suddenly. I'm juggling vacations. There's visitors, zero routine. Hydro brings me back to that structure so I can get quick, efficient workouts that keep me feeling grounded no matter what my calendar looks like. So for Hydro, if you didn't know, I've been telling you guys, I've been going and working out 4 days a week, but I need other things sometimes when I can't get to the gym. And I've been really loving Hydro because one thing that I love, you never get bored. Hydro's got tons of workouts with actual Olympians, and they're filmed in these gorgeous outdoor spots all over the world. It makes it way easier to stay motivated. Doesn't matter if you're training hard or just trying to stay active. Hydro really meets you where you're at. It's low impact, so it's easy on your joints, but still gives you that perfect mix of strength and cardio. If you're on the fence, there's a free shipping, 30-day risk-free trial, and Hydro offers a full-year warranty. Honestly, no pressure. Just try it and see how it feels. Getting a good sweat used to mean hours in the gym. Hydro, you can do it all at home on my schedule, 20 minutes. Rowing on my Hydro gets me that full-body workout without ever having to leave my house. It's so easy. I have it set up now. I was so excited when I got it, and it really does. You feel like you can't even describe how amazing it is to hit all of these spots. So you can skip the gym, not the workout. Stay on track with Hydro. For a limited time, go to hydro.com and use the code Kristian to save up to $470 off your Hydro. HYDROW.com. Use that code Kristian. Save up to $475. Hydro.com. Use the code Kristian. Thank you to Hydro. Thank you to Trade Coffee. Really, really love both of them. I hope that you are checking it out. Please go and do just that. Check them out. Okay, I'm trying to move everybody around. Musical chairs. There we go.
Look at you.
Get it. Well, we have more stuff that was being said. There were shots fired, kind of, from James Gunn on Marvel, if you want to look at it that way. James Gunn says corporate mandate killed Marvel Studios, reveals likelihood of future MCU-DCU crossover. Superman director James Gunn shares his thoughts on Marvel Studios' recent struggles and points to orders from higher up the food chain being a problem. He also discusses a potential MCU-DC crossover. It's no secret that the multiverse saga has seen Marvel Studios struggle to recapture the success it found with the Infinity Saga. There have been critical and commercial disappointments in theaters and on streaming, with much of the blame for that laid at the feet of the former CEO of Disney, Bob Chapek. He pressured Kevin Feige to produce an increased number of theatrical and Disney Plus titles, stretching the executive thin. It also led to a level of the MCU fatigue created by too many stories for people to keep up with and the abundance of superhero content. Marvel Studios is attempting to course correct, though. That's proving to be easier said than done. If Thunderbolts is any indication, the movie received glowing reviews, but it will fail to break even by the time of its box office run. Now, all hopes are being pinned on the Fantastic Four first steps, hoping that it is successful. Rolling Stone put it to the Guardians of the Galaxy director and DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn that there are similarities between Superman and the Fantastic Four, though the filmmaker wasn't inclined to agree. Maybe, but do you really think that they're alike? Is what he says. Embracing the silver age of it all, but I don't think that it is stylized, or at least not stylized in the same way. And it's not as retro. There are retro futuristic aspects because we've got Daily Planet with a big freaking globe and the robots, the machinery, so I can see where there are certain similarities. When Marvel struggles were broached, Gunn said, longtime Marvel executive producer Luis D'Esposito said they put out too much stuff privately to me. I don't know if it really is even their fault. It wasn't fair. It wasn't right. And it killed them. We have to treat every project as if we are lucky. We don't have the mandate to have a certain amount of movies and TV shows every year, he said, of how DC Studios' approach will be different. So we're going to put out everything that we think is of the highest quality. We're obviously going to do some good things and some not good things, but hopefully, on average, everything will be as high quality as possible. Superman movies are no longer guaranteed, yada, yada, yada. Okay, I think that's the majority of it there. But let me ask you guys, with the comments, I don't know if it's necessarily shots fired as he was kind of protecting the people and the powers, his friends now, because we all know this. We all know that it was the executives that pushed him too hard. There was a lot of success. More. Let's forget. It's like going to a restaurant that is really good, and then they're like, you know what? We need to do a chain, and they just expand it. And they don't have the right chefs, and everything. What happens? It's too much, and the food just isn't as good as it used to be. That's kind of what this is, and I think that Gunn just clarifies this. Rox,
did he say at the end we're obviously going to do some good things and obviously some not so good things?
He did. He was being honest about it, I guess.
I feel like we buried the lead there. That's
no.
The biggest thing he said is obviously we're going to also do some not so great things. I think of this as kind of like an ex-lover who didn't have a horrible breakup, but still is more excited about their current boo than their last boo.
Right.
He's not shredding his ex. He's not dragging them and releasing all their secrets. I think he's just saying, I like my new boo better. It's fitting for me more right now. We're aligned. So I feel like this wasn't not shade, but it wasn't as shady as we've seen not only just people get, but him get.
Right. Mike, what do you make of these comments?
Kind of like, I don't want to say it's a nothing burger story, but it kind of is, because he's like, yeah, man, we all saw it. The writing was on the wall. You don't have to be, we always talk about film Twitter and how everyone's, more in tune to it than the general public. But I think even general public, it was just like, yeah, man, they got Disney Plus up and running. Chapek wanted more shows. It just was too much. It was just like, it was funny though, because I always said, and I guess this was probably back pre-Endgame and Infinity War. I remember talking with a bunch of people in our circle, and I said, guys, I don't think Marvel will ever have a bomb. I just don't think they'll ever do it.
Wow.
And now here we are, proven quite wrong.
Yeah.
And the fact that in that article said it, where Thunderbolts is actually really good, but the brand is damaged at this point.
Yeah, it is. And I think the other thing that they mentioned too, which I agree, is that it's like, it does, whether or not, for the casual viewer, they don't pay attention to what's part of MCU, what's part of DCU, what's part of other things. They just see comic book movies and they see superhero movies, and that's all they see in another superhero movie. And right now, it's all about big IP. It is. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, did you see this James Gunn article? Is this the same one? Did you guys see where he's talking about the pressure on Superman and it has to hit? I think he's answering about that. Did you hear about that?
I think that was the next part of the quote. Yeah.
Okay.
But no, but
because it's a fantastic quote, because I think the interview is saying, it's like, everyone's saying that everything rests on Superman, and this, he's like, it doesn't. He's like, we are Iron Man. Iron Man, if we break, I think he even says, like, if we break even, that's going to be a win for me.
Right.
He's like, we're not in a place where I have to have $1 billion. It's like, we've got Guardian. I mean, we've got Creature Commandos. We've got Peacemaker season 2. We got Supergirl going. If Superman doesn't, now he doesn't say if it bombs, he doesn't answer that question.
Right.
But
there's a lot of different answers to that question, because it's like we've said this. Roxy and I brought this up 1,000 times when we've discussed this. If it breaks even, you ain't gonna be happy about it. They're gonna go, okay, let's dust it off and on to the next one. What are we doing now? And let's try to make some money on the next one. If it bombs, I don't care what he says. They're in trouble. You might not even get it. You might not even get a second movie, but it's not going to. It's right now. It's tracking.
Look at what it's tracking with the pre-sales. Like it broke the record. So it's just like,
it looks exciting. The movie looks exciting, and
so I think
the fact that we get to see a Superman like that.
We're still unclear how much
to me is the reviews. Like, I think what's key right now at this point is, because it's going to have a massive opening weekend. Is it at its core? Do people resonate with this Superman?
Right.
That's what's going to be. Whether the reviews are good or not, because a lot of times reviews are not that good, but people love the movie.
The fan and the audience reaction is going to be everything for this.
Yeah.
And it does also, what's the story going to be? Right. Like, Roxy, like when you just thinking the idea of what this story could be, what are you getting excited about when you see these trailers? Like, when you think about what this story could be, what do you want to see from Superman? What comes to mind?
Superman, Lois, and Lex. This is our big 3. We're starting our DC universe with these 3 characters. And I think the trailers have done a really good job of showing us that's what this movie is going to focus on. I know the rest of it is world building, and it's important to introduce different characters and to build out this city and this planet. That's really cool to me. But Lex versus Superman, this ultimate rivalry that we have, will really set the tone for DCU. And also Superman's relationship with Lois, which is something that I have failed to care about in any live action movie so far.
Ever?
So in the movies, the TV show.
Even Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder?
When I was a kid, I cared more. As an adult, her Lois doesn't land for me.
Wow.
I'm with Rox. I don't worship at the altar of Margot Kidder.
And I understand it. I would never sit here and be like, that was a bad performance. It was absolutely not. The character of Lois I've struggled with for years.
I think.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Rox. Go ahead.
Mike does that, Roxy.
He does?
He likes to cut people off. Go ahead.
I'm new here. I had no idea.
I know.
Do you not remember, Kristian, who literally started DC Movie News?
I know. I just wanted to remind you. I haven't seen him in a while, but he hasn't changed.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah.
I've struggled with Lois for a really long time, and I feel like this is going to be the version that really nails her, because even in the trailers, has everybody seen the trailers? I know that some people are avoiding them. I don't want to spoil anything.
No, it's okay. We're talking about the show.
Even Buckle Up and like her having a way more active, action-oriented character when she's actually pursuing her interview with him. Okay, Cronkite, like that. Just there's so many moments from just the trailers that make me think she's smart. She understands that she is like, they understand. Gunn understands that we need to appreciate this character for being not just Superman's love interest, not just there to support Superman. I think Lois can be a huge part of the DCU, and she's never really been a huge part of the DC universe because she's just been a big part of Superman's world. So that's really exciting to me. But at the core, those 3, that's what's got me excited about this movie. And then, of course, a little crypto in there, too. I know a lot of people are not excited about that, but I think it's so great.
Mike, what about yourself?
Yes. I don't understand that people with crypto, like if you don't like a dog, I'm not friends with you. I can't take your opinion seriously. If you don't like dogs, you got a problem because a dog's in a movie, then okay, here's a great example of that. So I remember when the very first trailer came out, I text Shannon, I was like, hey, the Superman trailer came out. What'd you think? And she goes, one thing sold me on that movie right away. And I thought, oh, is there something that Corn Sweat does? And I saw the trailer eventually. I was like, oh, it's the dog. So to people, and that's why they advertise with the puppy bowl. That's why
they're leading so hard on the dog. Yeah.
With the puppy bowl, you're getting people are like, why are you doing the puppy bowl? The Super Bowl's like, because you're getting tons of people that don't watch comic movies.
It's true. It's true.
The marketing for this movie has been on point.
They've been using their money well. on what
With
this
What are you guys
Minecraft,
excited
putting it in
about?
front of Minecraft, like that was
Yeah.
huge.
What's that,
I
Roxy?
want you to answer the question that you asked me, though, Kristian. You guys,
Sure.
what is it that you're excited about for this movie? What's bringing you in?
A lot of what you just said. I like the idea of taking. We've seen a mixture of the comic book realism, from the Donner version of it. We've seen the darker, brooding side from Zack Snyder, which again, I like seeing different versions of it. I'm not. There are a lot of people who are opposed to it. I like seeing that version. I don't necessarily know if we need to do it again, but I like seeing that version of it. I like seeing all these different versions. I like this idea of seeing a comic accurate Superman with him flying around fighting the monsters and doing all these things. And exactly what you just said, the Lex Luthor element of Lex is the pure villain going after this thing that he hates. And then you've got this relationship that he needs to balance with Lois Lane. And I also am very curious to see how they're going to incorporate the DCU without it getting too overwhelming. It's 2 hours and 3 minutes long. So to see what they're going to do, I'm also very, very interested to see the dynamic and what was always the most important to me, as I mentioned earlier, is Clark was formed his human side from Ma and Pa Kent. I want to see that relationship. I want to see them. It's always one of the most important things in the movies is the learning that Clark took from the Kents and how that overall formed his understanding of what he can do, how he should do things, how he shouldn't do things. And I want to see how that's incorporated in this new universe. I think that it's a beautiful looking trailer. It's a beautiful looking film thus far. And I want to see how it incorporates everything.
Are we losing Pa Kent to a heart attack in this movie?
I think his parents stay alive for the run of the DCU.
I think so too.
For the run of the DCU.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be like Lois and Clark, where his parents were always there because that grounds him. And if you lose one of those, you lose an anchor. Like he needs that. He's always going to fly back to Smallville.
Wait, just pressing back on you a little. When you say the run of DCU, do you mean for 20 years if we go 20 years?
Because we've seen his father killed twice before. Why do we need to do it again? We've never seen. Are you kidding me? A scene? Are you seeing where we're gonna have a scene where he shows up and then Wonder Woman and Batman are in his house with his parents and Batman's got to talk to his parents and Wonder Woman's there and like the dynamic that the storytelling and James Gunn is a storyteller. Like the ideas that of story with the two of them alive that add so much more than the father. Okay, the father dies, or let's change it up. Let's do like Marvel and the mother dies, and it's Aunt May is what he learns great responsibility from. Okay. We've seen that before. The two parents alive, he's always there for him. Then eventually down the line, Lois and Superman can get married. The parents are at the wedding with everybody, with all the heroes. It's so much better storytelling.
I don't know if it's better storytelling, but I don't disagree with you that I would understand if they did it that way because they're doing something different. I actually prefer the idea that he loses Pa Kent because I think the most and there's
this movie.
In general, because the reason why, and Roxy, we've had this conversation many times, to which we agree with on Man of Steel, to where I like it a little bit more. I like it a lot more than you do. But we both agree on the scene is that I don't agree that he would just let Pa Kent die because Pa Kent doesn't want anyone to see him. I think the whole point of Pa Kent dying was that Superman couldn't do anything about it. He said, that's what I loved about the Donner films is he's like, I can do all these things and I couldn't save him. Like that's life. That is, it doesn't matter what you got. You can
do that with any single person in his life. It doesn't just have to be his father. He can learn.
It's true.
A simple reason. I can't save everybody. Maybe, but here's the thing also, but also he's 3 years into his career as Superman. He's probably known at this point, like I can't save everybody. I'm going to do the best I can with what I've got.
I know. He just said that he was younger when it happened, and the idea of it, like the one in the Donner film, is devastating.
Yeah, it is.
Right, and it's done great, and it's there, and let's not rehash it.
I think you guys are right that I think that both the parents are going to make it out of this movie, but I don't know that it has to be Pa Kent. Could it be as a plethora of other people? Yes. But to me, at some point, Superman really needs to know he can't save anybody, and there is no better way to do that than the death of a parent or your biggest loved one. And do I think that they're going to kill off Lois? No. So, and they don't have kids yet. So yeah, I think that one of the parents eventually is gonna go. I don't know whether that's the first movie. I don't think so, but second, third.
Yeah, maybe, because I think loss is important, and Gunn shows it. You know, she's showed loss many times over, but I don't disagree with Mike. It doesn't necessarily have to be the parents, but I think you're expecting it to happen. So maybe it either does or it doesn't.
I'm saying, like,
I know
all of us are sitting there expecting it. I think this is a new DC. Let's see things we've never seen before. Let's tell stories we've never told. We don't need to rehash the past because it's all there. Like, and then I think it was Superman and Lois. Didn't Superman and Lois kill his mom in the first episode?
I don't remember.
She died in the first episode of Superman and Lois.
Okay. All right.
It's like, hey, we've done mom, we've done pa. Like,
we got a lot. There's a lot there. Yeah. Everything we just discussed, everything we just talked about. I want to hear your thoughts on all of it. Like I said, whether it's in the live comments, whether it's on the replay, whether it's the Clips channel, let your voices be heard. We got ourselves a Clayface. That's right. Tom Rhys Harris is going to lead the Clayface film. To which I say, who is Tom Rhys Harris? Which is a good thing. Welsh actor Tom Rhys Harris also has scored the title role of the DC Studios film Clayface, based on the famed Batman villain. The actor beat out the likes of Jack O'Connell, Tom Blythe, and George McKay for the role of the movie, which is being directed by James Watkins, heavily inspired by the Feet of Clay episodes from the 1990s Batman the Animated Series. The project has been penned by acclaimed filmmaker Mike Flanagan, with revisions by Hossein Amani from Drive and Our Kind of Traitor. The synopsis is under wraps, but the original episodes followed an actor name, and we know the whole story, yada, yada, yada. So Rhys Harris is best known for the roles of Manchester DJ Axel Collins in Netflix's White Lines. Did you watch that, Roxy?
No.
Okay, so you don't know who? Do you know who this is, or not really?
They said small roles in The Gentleman, but I no. And when I saw the story break, remember we had just been talking about this guy from White Lotus who was going to be cast, and these other three names that you mentioned. I was on the show when we were speculating these, and we were like, "This would be amazing, 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 amazing." And then they went with somebody that we don't know. And that might be amazing also. It's just hard to actually have an opinion on it because
there's two reasons they did this. One, the obvious, is he probably had a pretty good damn audition. Two, he costs a lot less than the rest of them.
Yep.
That's exactly why. And if he had, and that's smart. If he, it's like, look, go ahead, Mike. I don't need to finish. Go ahead.
He does this sometimes, Kristian.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
I get it. I get excited. to share what I want to talk about.
Go ahead.
I had the same reaction you did, Harloff. I was like, who the hell is this? And I love that.
Love it.
Dude, I'm of the mind, like, I know everyone's at this guy, Brendan Sklenar, for Batman. If you went with an unknown that I've never heard of, like, Batman sells itself. People what's up?
Brendan Sklenar is unknown.
To an extent, he's like Corn Sweat.
Kristian and I with Brendan Sklenar right now. We will eat you alive.
I'm not saying that, guys. I know that. I know. Basically, David Corn Sweat is an unknown, but like this guy is an unknown.
Right. No one,
even the movies you listed, except for The Gentleman, like I don't even know these things he's in.
I hear what you're saying. No,
like Sklenar, I knew was it Yellowstone or 1923.
Right.
Like
you heard if I understand what you're saying. If Sklenar was announced tomorrow, you'd be like, oh, that's the guy everyone's talking about it.
And David Corn Sweat was
who the hell is that guy?
Right.
Right.
And I love that.
Yeah,
I love that about this guy.
No, I just said David Corn Sweat was in Twisters. So
he was,
but that was before he was cast.
No, but he was also
that was after his cast.
He was also in the conversation. He was in the conversation as far as casting rumors. You kept hearing his name.
100%. I'm only speaking to unknown versus not unknown.
Yes,
They both were in properties that we know. This guy, I looked at his face, and and I was like, I don't recognize his face.
But this is also the beauty of doing what, a $20 to $40 million movie where you can do that. The studio is not
Did
going.
Did you say 20?
I think it's something. No, I think it's something along the lines of like it's cheap. It's a cheap movie.
Good.
Yes, and it's like, and that's why, because the studio is not going to sign off on this guy on a $200 million movie. They're just not going to do it. They'll sign off on this, and that's good. That's good for him. That's good for the vision that they want, and it's good for their budget.
I'm happy that they have not been referencing Harley Quinn, the animated series, because I love that show.
Yeah.
But I really don't want to see a live action, that version of Clayface. I just don't want them to go the goofy route. The fact that Mike Flanagan is working on this, and Mike we trust. I love Mike Flanagan.
He did the first draft, whether or not they stick
right.
with
And then they had somebody come in and pen again. But the fact that he was working on this, just even the fact that they thought of him to work on this, makes you know the tone that we're kind of going in. And the fact that they keep referencing the animated series, it's just perfect for me. This is exciting. I like that we're going with the unknown. I think smart property for us to cover. I think that it's not the obvious. And I think it's James Gunn kind of making his stamp on like, here are some of the stories that I want to tell. Here are some of the characters I want to focus on. Here's kind of how I want to do some of these. I don't want to call him the lesser known character because a lot of people know who he is, but lesser known than our big Justice League.
I think lesser known is fair, Roxy. I think lesser known from inside of this circle, inside of comic book movie fans. Sure, but they know. I'll be honest. I didn't know a lot about Clayface before I was doing Capes and Cowls and everything too. Like I hear about him through those because I didn't know who that is, and most people have no idea what Clayface is, right? But that gets me to my next question, Mike. And like, let's play towards the lore side of this, where you're going to have Flanagan, who did the first draft, obviously going very horror-esque with this. This is part of the DCU. It's not an Elseworlds thing, and they're going to do a smaller kind of tone for it. What is the possibility that this is the platform that they introduce us to the new Batman? And is it a world where they should do that?
I think I'd said on the show a couple of months ago that I was like, I bet this is where they announced their Batman. In this film, he pops up, the actor, and that was it. Like if they can, I don't know if they can from a media standpoint. Like if they were to keep that secret and that's like post credits or something. But I have a feeling if they announce it, because there's a lot of articles with Gunn recently where he's like, we've got Batman, we got to get him right. I've got the way in. So I think that's like the big thing they need to announce. But to put it in this movie, but that's still a year and a half away. I don't know if
they have time.
Here's the thing. Yeah. Here's a big question: is the script set in Gotham City?
Right, and
because Clayface doesn't need to be. He can move to Gotham City eventually. Like the character makes his way there.
He ends up there. You mean?
Yeah. Like if it's right. I have a feeling this is going to be an origin film.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
I don't think it needs to be Gotham City.
It'd be wild if this is not an origin story. That would be crazy.
No, it should be, but I think that like but it's a good call that it ends up in Gotham, and by the end of it, and then maybe you can introduce him that way, whatever it might be. You have an opportunity. You're setting a new tone though, too, right? Because like this is the same conversation I had about what's up.
No, I'm listening to what you're saying. What?
The same tone, because Guy Gardner, clearly we see his kind of tone in what he's going to be in Superman. We don't know the tone yet in the Lantern show, and can that character exist there? I'm sure he can. The same goes for, can a Clayface that is set up in this kind of horror aspect coexist with a Batman that's also going to coexist with Superman and Guy Gardner? And that's how can they all coexist? And I feel like the answer will be yes. And I'm creatively, like, the creative choices they're going to make is intriguing to see how that's going to work.
Do you, okay, let me ask you guys, when you think of the movie The Substance, is that a horror film to you?
Yes.
Which one? Which movie?
Substance.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think when they talk horror film, people are thinking jump scares.
Slasher.
It's going to be a body horror film with the way his body can shape and morph, and he's going to be turning into this character, like, and that's probably mess up his brain. Like, I absolutely see this working. And again, it's kind of like Guy Gardner. Like, depending on where he is and which characters he's around, he's probably going to be slightly, it's the same person,
right?
But you act slightly different around other people. Like in this Lanterns, this True Detective type series, he's still going to be an asshole, prick, cocky bastard, but he's not going to be a buffoon, but it's still going to be Guy, you know? And I think Clayface, depending on where he is, will shift with the tone of the film.
I never really understand that complaint from people, because can a Southern belle be in a room with a quick talking New Yorker? Like, the world is different. People are different. People's life situations are different. Cities are different. People's energies and vibes and are all different, and they all exist in the same earth. So that never really bothered me. And I agree with what you're saying about substance, like The Fly, more creepy body, what is happening here. And the only times that I feel like it's difficult to ground something, which Marvel has actually done really well with, even though I don't love Doctor Strange, is when you're introducing supernatural with not supernatural cities and people and planets. So sometimes that can be a little bit tricky, because people might say like, oh, if this person just has magic, then that doesn't really fit in with the rest of the things. Or like if this person's a vampire or a werewolf. But even then it can be done. So I really don't have issues with would this fit tonally. The question of whether they should introduce their Batman in a Clayface movie is a different question to me, because if they do that, they are making a massive statement, which is, you guys blink and you'll miss it.
Right.
Do not skip out on any of our movies. We are doing, you have to see every movie that comes out. This is the one to see. And
if you want to see our Batman, you got to go see that movie.
Yeah, but that doesn't hold true. That's just like, hey, okay, you get to see him, but if you didn't see him, he'll be in the next one. You'll see him there.
Right. Like, I think it's
just a cool little, like, hey, we got Batman. You've been wanting him.
But I understand what Roxy's
saying. But here you go.
I understand what Roxy's saying, but I also think that there's a world where you can introduce Batman, but you don't run into the problem of Marvel, where it's like, if you go and see this, if you don't see it, you're going to miss Batman, and you'll miss what he's been doing, and you're going to miss everything in general, and you'll be lost in the next one. That I don't think is going to happen.
I'll step back and I'll say this. Maybe it's a point of, at the end, he's captured. Like, Jesus, we don't know how to do that. How do we, this guy can escape a prison cell. It's like, oh, here's a special truck, and it's Wayne Enterprises on the side of it. It's like a special containment truck. Says Wayne Enterprises on it, because Batman's in the world. He knows it exists. He's like, I dealt with these problems. Bring him to Gotham. I got him.
Shadowy
like
figure. I think we could even see, something but like is this the introduction of who was cast as Batman? I think very likely no.
I think you're probably right. What do you guys think? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know about that Batman. You can definitely share your thoughts there. And the cast. What do you think about this this casting of Clayface? Does it make sense? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. All right, we're gonna get to your questions in just a second, but before we do, we like to do some TV here. And Roxy texted me yesterday, and she's like, I've been on the show, and I've watched like 87,000 shows. So how many do you want me to do? And I think you said you watched 16. So I said, let's just do 8, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I really have been watching, Kristian. I mean, I have been watching so much stuff.
All right, so
because this is a fun time, because there's no shows like Andor or The Last of Us, so I kind of get to do a little more exploring to see shows that like not everybody's talking about, and take a lot of your guys' recs. So
working this.
I'll go here. That's perfect.
Yeah, we'll do that. Let's we still haven't figured it out yet. Yeah.
The show that was recommended to me by Steph Sabra. She's been telling me for the last couple of months I have to watch Deli Boys. I don't know what Onyx is. But Deli Boys is so great. It took me a second to get into it. This is a comedy about these two brothers who it like has kind of a strange tone. It's a little mobster vibes, but it is really, really funny, but we also be killing people. So it gets very dark and creepy. These three are the main characters. This is their aunt. She is like one of the best characters on TV right now. Loving Deli Boys. I finished it, and I think there's going to be a season 2. So catch up on this one. Ginny and Georgia had its best season yet. I was really excited about this one. It kind of went to be a courtroom drama all of a sudden. These actors are so great. Scott Porter's on the show, and he is mind-blowingly good. I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for the actor that he is, and people don't even know he's on this show. They do an excellent job. The creator of the show is from my hometown as well. So shout out to Sarah. She absolutely crushes it with this.
Rox, can you hear me? Did you know I used to be roommates with Scott Porter in Florida?
Why do you think I said it?
Oh, okay. Never mind. We haven't been on DC in a while. Give me some slack.
He's so good. Mike,
he's a great guy. He's a good guy.
Mike Birbiglia, Kristian, do you know him from any walk of life?
I mean, I know who he is, but I don't know personally.
I never know because sometimes I bring up and they're your homies. He's so funny. And this shouldn't really be my brand of humor, because him and I have absolutely nothing to relate to or talk about. That his life is so different than mine. Different ages, different problems, different everything. But to me is laugh out loud funny. And in a time where I just want to laugh out loud. I don't want to think too hard about the jokes and he's just funny. The Good Life was awesome. If you need a laugh, I highly recommend it. Stick is my favorite show on TV right now. Oh. I will talk about this every week until it is off. This is a new hit from Apple. This is with Judy Greer, Mark Maron, Owen Wilson. I've been working on my wow, guys. Hold on. Wow.
You have not been working on it.
No. Okay.
No.
I have been.
No.
Oh. Wow.
Wow, Roxy, it's so bad.
Wow.
You know, the great Owen Wilson.
Wow.
You guys are so much better. Bummer.
Wow.
Jamie Costa.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Wow.
Please, I beg you.
Okay.
You better stop. Wow.
You don't have to believe my impressions, but do believe me that this is the show right now. This is the Ted Lasso of this time. It is feel good. It's heartwarming. It's a little gut wrenching at times. It's excellent. I think this is going to run for many seasons. I think this is going to be their next big thing. So, yeah. Okay. The chat also thinks that my wow was not good. I thought you guys were wrong.
Roxy, I love you, but it was terrible.
Wait, let me try again. Wait, why don't you do it?
Please.
Wow. What do you?
Wow. You almost pucker your lips to it's an asshole. Wow. Oh no, don't do that. All right, here we go. Next one.
Speaking of things that shouldn't be my brand of humor, Shane Gillis. I really like Shane Gillis's comedy. I know that puts me on some people's crap list, but Tires is funny. Tires is so inappropriate. Tires is so not PC. Tires makes jokes that I am laughing out loud to, and I'm thinking to myself, if anybody saw me laughing at this, I'd be embarrassed. But the show's really good, and all of a sudden in the middle of this season, there's Vince Vaughn. And I was like, What?
That's a whole other conversation.
What is going on with all these names? Tires, Stick,
yeah,
Deli Meat. Are these creators just gave up on names because they realized there's 50 million shows out there? We don't care about the name.
Easy to get.
Fuck it.
Okay, Deli Boys.
Adults.
Deli Boys. They run a deli. Stick is about golf. And Tires is about a tire shop. Okay, adults. This also is a one-word one.
Wow.
You guys recommended this to me, and you gave me the warning. This is a show about Gen Z. And I was a little worried about that because I am not Gen Z. And I was like, am I going to understand this at all? But I feel like this is a show written by millennials about Gen Z. And it is exactly how I feel about Gen Z. And that's how they're writing it. And it ends up being, it's so funny. It is really raunchy. It's like a bunch of roommates living together, but it's a look into how Gen Z is so different than the previous generations, but I don't think it's making fun of them. More is just a light into it. It's hysterical. It's definitely a great rec from you guys.
All right, 2 more.
Overcompensating was another recommendation that I kept getting from people. This guy, Benito, Benny, Drama. Benny Drama was his handle. He is a YouTuber, Instagram like guy who wrote this show. There's a bunch of guests, cameos that you guys will recognize, people like Megan Fox. It's also produced by Charlie XCX. The first episode, I was like, I don't know if this show's going to be for me. It's about a guy who is in the closet, the main guy on here, and he is overcompensating, like trying to be straight. And when I first watched it, I was just like, it's a little on the nose. I don't know if I'm going to dig this humor. By the end of it, I was like, this is one of the best shows of the year. It is so heartfelt. It is so excellently written. So if you watch the first episode and you're like, I would stick with it a little bit because it grew on me so fast. And the relationships on the show are really powerful.
And the last one for now.
Poker Face is another show that's probably gonna be on my list until it's off the air. I think that this show just does such great things. We have amazing guest stars. Melanie Linsky was on this week. So is John Cho. Every week they have an insane cast. There's always fun stories. I mentioned this on Live at the Roxy, but I kind of hope that we give her a sidekick at some point, because having Natasha Lyonne week after week is really cool, but I would like to see her build some kind of lasting relationships that we don't really get. But other than that, every episode is fun. And this is one of those shows that you can watch with somebody who's never seen it and they'll still enjoy it. So it's nice for like, if I want to watch with my Grammy, or if I'm watching a quick episode of TV with a friend, it's just easy watching.
Well, there you go. So there's some TV from Rox.
How many of those that I listed did you guys watch?
I've seen none of those. Stick was one of those ones where I wanted to start watching it.
Like it.
I'm sure I will, but like it's one of those things that again was not asked by the wife to say, "Hey, do you want to watch this with me?" She's 3 episodes into it already, and I'm like, "Come on,
Mikey, you watching none?"
You're muted. So great. It
You're
says
still
like,
muted, Mike.
what's so great is that it says can't unmute your guest because they chose to mute themselves. And are you muted?
I like that he's still talking to us like we can hear him.
Right. Now, but
my button is not muted. It's you guys. It's your damn StreamYard bullshit.
It clearly was muted because now it isn't.
Mike, what were you saying?
Yes. I said I'll usually pick up on a TV show because Shannon will be watching it. So the last one I watched was 4 Seasons, which was awesome.
Yeah,
well, you know what's funny though is the only 2 people I heard rave about. What's that show that you love, Roxy? The medical drama.
The
Pit.
See. You're the only 2 that love it.
That's phenomenal. Get out of here. That's phenomenal.
I didn't mean to say it like that. You're the only 2 people that I've heard that I know.
No, do you know who the other person who rides for it? You know who rides for it heavier than anybody?
Steph?
No, she hasn't seen it. Jeff Snyder.
Oh, does
how I knew it. When I saw Jeff, because I subscribe to the Insnider, it's actually brilliant. This is not even me trying to plug him. I just love reading his writing. He's a very, very good writer. He was writing about the Pit, and I was like, wow, I cannot believe we're in a time period where he's writing about a medical drama, and loves it as much as I do. That's how good the show is.
People love it. People love it. So, well, there you go. There is everything that Roxy has picked. She said 8 more shows. She's going to do a whole bunch more next week. Also, Roxy, I told you I would give you updates on what's going on with my script.
Yes.
Right now so I just got off the phone right before we started with my writing partner Martini, who we're doing the show with, and we're about, I think, we're about 12 pages in already, and we already have a full draft of the script done, but we're 12 pages into agreement. All right, we're done here. Let's move on to the next one before we submit it to some people. We have ideas for directors, we have ideas from other things, and we're pretty excited to start getting it out there. So the other thing is, did you guys see that? Well, Roxy, you're a villain. You've seen that, and Mike, have you guys seen the Capes promo?
I haven't seen the promo, no.
In a world. No, I'm not going to do that, but I'm excited. It's been a while. We've been working on this one. One of our amazing members, patrons, artist extraordinaire, Wicked Art, has been working on this for a long time, and that is the Capes and Cowls comic book. It's here, guys. The whole thing is here. Now, if you are a member or you're a patron, you have access to this, obviously, but there's a little bit more to this now. What we're going to be doing is we are going to go through this entire run, this entire storyline. We're going to get all of the dialogue from everybody involved in it, with myself, Winston, Coy. There's a lot of great cameos and other things in there, and people that you know. And we're going to have some fun with this. We're going to take the voices, we're going to take the sound effects and music and all that, and we're going to put it into one big episode that you guys can watch. Now, patrons and members will get access to it first, but then we're going to make it public. So this is so exciting. And the work that has been put on this by Wicked Art has just been amazing. So as you see the art here, there's so much more. You can access all of this if you go to Patreon or members now, and you can check it out. It's available to all members, all patrons. But it's going to be a fun ride. So just want to let everybody know the Capes and Cowls comic book adaptation is coming, and we'll be excited to bring it to you. How fun is that?
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you see, did you see yourself, Rox, sitting at the bar with Winston?
The top right.
Yeah. And
Took
Mike,
me a second.
yeah, and Mike was in there too, yelling at Big Balls.
Steph looked so hot in there.
It's going to be Steph, Mike, and Big Balls have some of the greatest moments in the entire thing.
Good for you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be some. Well, you're like the main villain, so you're going to have some fun too. Okay, so we are going to get.
Can we get Roxy to add in a wow?
Cock? Wow. Was that better?
It was better. Yeah, it was better. All right, let's get to this. We have stuff to do. You guys need to try to catch Roka at 112. I think I said. Is it 112?
Yeah, you said
We got some work to do.
Yeah, you're 44. Not too bad.
Not too bad.
It's not too bad to start on starting.
Okay, for sure.
What happened, Rox? What are you giggling at?
Giggling.
Okay. All right, let's start. What we do is Derek Johnson put in he first thing he did, he's not even going to be here for the whole time. But he added and he gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Derek. Look at that. I'm telling you, Derek is determined to get every single person in this chat.
DJ, that's my DJ.
Joey Pedris, some early support. Thank you, Joey. Derek Johnson, I can't stay long. Have a good show. Now, there's some, I think, that were dropped in here beforehand, so I'm going to there's the first one here where Tom Hanks says, my wife saw the Superman trailer and thought it looked too TV-ish. She's more into movies than the average person, too. I'm concerned on how it will perform. Well, if there's any indication on the pre-ticket sales, I think it's going to perform pretty well.
I am not understanding this bit of feedback from people.
Yeah,
I don't get it either.
I'm not understanding. It's like they didn't watch the CW shows, because this person didn't specifically say CW, but TV. Like, it looks amazing. Like, even if story-wise you don't like it, which I do so far, to say this looks TV like, I don't see what people are talking about.
I don't either. I'm not on that one. Mad Sinister McCall, shaving my head bald during the Superman premiere because the real hero is Lex Luthor. Harloff started GoFundMe for Dan Murrell's car. What happened to Dan Murrell's car? 5-hour drives. You're just saying in general because he's got to take those 5-hour drives?
5-hour drives to what?
Oh, poor Dan. Dan, because they don't, where he lives in Arkansas, they don't.
For the movies.
Yeah, they don't screen movies. So he's got to drive to Dallas sometimes. He's got to drive 5 hours there, 5 hours back. Like, he's got to drive 10 hours in order to see a movie.
I wouldn't
do it.
I
wouldn't do it. I'm telling you, I would not do it. I would say, guys, I'm going to find other things to do, or I'll wait for them to come out on digital. I'm just not doing that. It's the kind of dedication Dan has.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, we released our first 3 episodes of She-Hulk today. Me and Sam.
Oh, you decided to. Good.
We did it, and we're up. We only released the first 3. We're releasing 3, 6, and 9. But her and I are up to episode 9. We're up to the 9th.
The way you're saying it makes me think she didn't like it.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
No, she doesn't like it. She liked.
I think that's because she watched it with you, man.
No. I made sure, because I had you in my head. And I said, when I watched the first 2 episodes, I told her nothing about my opinion on it.
Yeah, but we can read your energy.
No. And I made sure I was acting. No. I'm telling you, the first episode she liked. She liked the first episode. And then she's like, this is getting too goofy. And I was like, and then by the end of it, she asked me, she goes, you like this, didn't you? And I actually, no, I don't like this show at all. She didn't even know. There's a couple episodes that she loves the Daredevil episode. Loves it.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good episode.
but the show stinks. All right, Matt, it stinks. Matt Krugman, Tuesday Gang. Are you guys fans of the Peaky Blinders series on Netflix? And are you excited for the film to wrap it up? Thoughts and opinions. Everyone tells me that if there's ever a show that I was supposed to see, it was that one.
Yeah, the show's awesome. Whenever I think of the show, I just think Makuga. He was the first person to rep this show. So
Bonnie talks about it too. Yeah.
What'd you say?
Bonnie talks about it a lot.
Yeah, I really liked Peaky Blinders. I was late to the game. And yes, that I think that this is awesome. I also think that Mobland is like kind of a continuation. Not really. It's obviously different time periods, but if you're missing Peaky Blinders, watching Moblands has been fun.
Similar. Okay.
Kind of like again, different time periods, but they have similar vibes.
Derek putting in 10 more memberships out there. Look at that. What a time. And honestly, every single person who was gifted a membership, your first piece of business after you watch this show today is go read the Capes and Cows comic book. You all have access to it. Jay Anderson, Mike, from one grump to another. I missed you, pal. Yeah, we missed Mike.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, last
Jay.
week, Mike was on the show last week.
I tried.
He did try. Him and Steph. Poor Steph. Steph held down the fort for as long as she could. I deleted that off the internet, by the way.
Leave it. It's good stuff.
It was terrible. Matt Hillman, first time, long time here. Thank you, Matt. Am I crazy to think that Favreau is being underutilized at Lucasfilm? Haven't heard much from him since the end of Mando season 2. Seems like Star Wars TV hasn't been as consistent since. Well, I mean, he's doing the movie, and I think what it was is that he was prepped and ready to do season 4. He had it ready to go, and they smartly said the same thing they did a Moana treatment. Stop writing season 4, make it a movie so we can make money off of this thing. So I don't think he's being underutilized. He's in the editing and shadowy caves right now. Do you guys disagree?
Mike.
I think he's busy in post right now.
Yeah.
We've talked about my casualness of this. I have no idea if he's being underutilized.
Fair. Austin B. Mike and Roxy on a DC heavy show. I got to throw in some nice savory support. Thank you, Austin B. Yeah, I love talking.
Thanks, Austin.
With them, and it's great to have. Mike's kind of like a utility player at this point. He normally could be on Thursdays, but he might show up on Tuesdays. Now we have a Wednesday spot open now that Chris Carr is here too, so he might pop up on a Wednesday show.
Is that whose phone number you added to the chain?
Yes.
Oh, I almost wrote back. Who this bitch be?
Well, who else would it be?
I had no idea that she had started.
I told you. You don't watch the show. That's nice. Armada, have you ever confused farts with thunder? Oh, this one I've been asked already. So you guys, what do you think?
Like farts with thunder with what? Like in real life?
No. Have you ever confused farts with thunder?
With thunder, yeah. Well, I have. I've actually never confused it.
Like, have you ever farted and thought it was thunder?
No, I've not. I'm an adult. I know exactly my bodily functions.
Yeah, I've confused farts with love and thunder. After watching it again,
I think you guys know this about me, but I'm not just saying this. It's an actual medical problem. I do not fart, and it's like
Roxy. You know what's going to happen? You're going to have to go to the hospital, and you're going to get sick. Like that one girl that held her farts in for like 5 years.
Mike, I went to the hospital. Have to go to the hospital about it all the time.
You don't have gas.
No, I have bowel issues.
So you got bowel issues. Okay, yeah. That's you buried the lead there. You got other things that are a symptom of that.
That's what's coming out, man.
Mike Joyce,
you can't go to the bathroom, Rox?
Not often.
Prune juice with some butter.
I've upped all of my prune juice. I'm on the fiber meds. I'm really upping my green intake.
Mike Joyce,
bloated. I'm sorry, Harloff.
Mike Joyce, haven't checked out your reaction yet, but Roxy, what did you think of Bloodlines? That's for awesome. Did they release that on Real Rejects?
Yes.
I'm releasing mine either tomorrow or Thursday. Just shot it this morning.
Yeah, we just watched it too.
I don't want to say yet what I think of it. I watched it with Tina because we watched the whole series together.
That's why he said, yeah, but Roxy, what do you think?
Oh, yeah. What'd you think?
Because mine released.
Oh.
I really liked it. I think that I actually haven't disliked a Final Destination movie.
Fourth one was the farts.
That's what Greg said too. I like these movies, but I really like this, and I like the new Bloodlines premise. I thought that was a really cool way to mix this up. There was a couple of things that I wish that they did differently, which if you see my reaction, you'll see. But like there were some characters that I feel like we didn't get the same kind of development for. The sister.
Right.
But in general, I liked it.
I'm glad I saw it alone. If I went with anyone to see it, they probably would have been concerned with the way I cackled at some of the deaths. There's some crazy deaths. I can't wait. Actually,
MRI scene?
Nuts. I can't wait for people to see our reaction because it was Tina and I were like going like dodging and stuff. It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was good.
Chris J. Herman. Cavill's Superman had too much baggage attached to him. The Snyder stink and all that. Not Cavill's fault, but that's the way it is. Gunn gets Superman. I think there's some truth to the idea of where it just led up to, and at that point they were trying to push past it at that point. Armada
stink is a little harsh.
It's a little harsh, yeah. Gary Busey as DCU Alfred. Oh, come on. Are you kidding?
Oh, God, no.
Oh, Master Wayne, can you come here and do me a favor? Can you put a fork inside the toaster? Why would I do that? I just want to see if the suit is electric proof. And at the same time, could you put my left testicle in there as well? Thank you.
If you guys had to honestly cast him as a villain in the DC, who would it be?
Oh, I wouldn't cast him in anything.
No, but I made you.
Now, I mean, you got to be. The guy wouldn't even finish a line. He'd wind up eating socks on the.
Remember that car accident he got in?
The best thing ever. Remember that we watched that together. It was insane.
I don't want to talk about DC. I want to talk about buttered sausage. What it does to me.
My friend did that video. By the way, everybody sent it. It was me. It was my friend Jeff Richards. And he was brilliant in it. I remember before I knew Jeff did a Gary Busey because they were doing stuff, and I reached out to Jeff and I said, Jeff, do you want me to do a Gary Busey thing with you guys? He's like, I do Gary Busey. And then lo and behold, that thing came out. It's just absolutely brilliant. He likes it too. Okay. You guys are at 53. Not bad. You got a shot here with 45 minutes left to go.
Let's go, team. Let's go, squad.
Do it. Sayed Akram. Greetings from Morocco. Thoughts on the new F1 movie? I can't wait. I was supposed to see it last night. I saw Ilio Stead last night. I'm going to see F1 next week. What did you see, Rox? Did you see anything last night?
No.
I saw Ilio.
I didn't get the invite for F1. Oh. I reached out.
I was F1 will be for me next week. I think I have to reach out again. But I was going to see it last night. I chose Ilio, and it was a sweet movie. It
was good.
It's a sweet movie. It's not like a classic Pixar that everyone's going to remember, but it's a nice little story. Yeah. I think kids will dig it. Old Mr. Chris, props to the cast gifting to the cats gifting memberships. Yeah, Derek doing that. I mean, look, I'm telling you, there's a lot of all
these cool cats and kittens.
And what I've seen too is a lot of people are sticking around. People that have been gifted memberships are sticking around because once you gift it only lasts for a little bit. But people have been sticking around, and I'm glad they are. We have live streams that we do. We have unedited reactions that are going up. PLD's been posting those a lot more too. PLD also endorses the Pit, by the way. Mike Joyce, all this DC chaos, is Zaslav the worst exec ever? No, why? What do you mean?
I'm
so confused.
I don't think he has to. Zaslav's really. DC, if anything, he was the one that hired Gunn. So
yeah, what do you mean DC chaos?
I'd say this. Maybe Zaslav
was there,
but this Zaslav stuff. I think maybe HBO Max, this, that. Like
I'm no Zaslav fan, but
wait, what's the DC chaos?
Yeah, he has nothing to do with DC chaos.
What's the DC chaos?
I don't even know. At least I don't know what you mean, Mike. But no,
and even that DC is separate now from WB.
I think we proved Chapek was one of the worst ever. Zaslav, and if Superman winds up hitting, people aren't going to be calling Zaslav the worst exec ever. So no, not even close. Not even the conversation. Ed of the movies. Mike in a tank. Save some ladies for the rest of us. You were in a tank?
Tank top.
Oh.
Not a tank, you moron. Yeah, I'm driving around in a tank.
What's your profession? What's your profession?
Actor.
Right.
An actor.
Right. So is it feasible to think that your stupid idiot face would be on Instagram in a tank or something? Is it feasible? Yes, it is.
Someone please put me in a tank driving around.
They
please.
Will.
With a big helmet on.
So everybody who does Photoshops, I want as many, and I'll throw them all in the show next week. Everybody do a Photoshop of Mike in a tank Now the good news is you have to, or the hard part of this is you got to find some high definition photos of him because look at this crap he's working with.
Just go to my website. You'll get Google my name.
Shot.
You'll see me.
Well, does his video look worse than mine or better?
Right now, worse. Before
everybody said I look like a potato.
Before it looks better now. It's clear now.
Why do I look like a potato?
Your internet was crap too. Both of you guys. We've got.
My internet's perfect today though.
It was not, but now it is. Beagle Studios. People now warming up to Cavill as Superman than back when he mirrors the same thing for Garfield as Spidey during his time as Spidey. It's a good
100% right, dude.
That's true.
No one raved about Garfield during his run of those.
No, he got the brunt.
No one.
No, he got the brunt of it because I did too, Roxy. He got the brunt of it because people were. He got screwed in the situation they were in. The only reason that movie got made was because they wanted to hold on to the rights. So he got thrown into it. I like that first movie. I'll stand by it. I watched the first movie again recently. It's a good movie.
Him and Emma Stone's chemistry is some of the best chemistry of a couple on screen. I think they're phenomenal together.
The second 100%. One has good emotional moments, but overall is a fart piece.
It's a good
Spider-Man. Like a rom-com.
Yeah. Bizarro 3. Jack O'Connell didn't get Clayface, surprising since the director also did Eden Lake with Jack. Must watch for She-Hulk, for She-Jex and Harloff. Director is great.
I think the fact that he just did Sinners and that's a huge hit, his paycheck just went up.
Maybe.
I wouldn't look at it as that he didn't get it. It wasn't aligned. Clearly.
It didn't align. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if he might have passed on it. Yeah, he might have passed.
Or he might get another villain offer or another hero. We don't know.
I want him in something else. It's true. Chris J. Herman, Cavill's Superman is extremely divisive as best. I don't think he's loved like all the Christopher Reeve. That's true. Tyler Hoechlin or Tim Daly Superman. I don't know. I mean, Tyler Hoechlin, I know for the most part for people who watch the show, but I don't think I think more people obviously, because it's film, they have the advantage of it. More people know Christopher Reeve and Henry Cavill than Tyler Hoechlin or Tim Daly. I didn't know Tim Daly was Superman until about 3 seconds ago.
Come on now.
Tyler Hoechlin is the best Superman that there's ever been.
Interesting. Yeah.
Tyler Hoechlin is a hell of a nice guy.
Yeah.
In real life, he's such a good dude.
He is. We interviewed him. He was the best.
With Alexandra Daddario.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is hilarious because and she was very sweet also, but I mean everybody, Roxy, you remember, was so excited that she was coming in, and and then we get this guy too. We didn't know anything about him, and I knew you did. I'm saying everybody else in the room, and then when he left, everybody was raving about how great he was. They
were both really awesome. Yeah. I keep hearing her name thrown out there for Wonder Woman. Obviously, Audrey Arjona seems to be the top person people are throwing out right now, and Ana de Armas.
Yeah, and the other name I keep hearing popped up is the one from Top Gun Maverick and the Bob Dylan.
Monica, is it Monica?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't heard that one.
She's been thrown out there a lot lately too. So Andrew Thomas, hey Christian, Mike, and Roxy here to support Roxy and to say that I'm excited for the new Superman movie in July. Love to hear. There's a lot of excitement behind this movie. It's a lot of excitement. 56 so far, guys. 56. You need just around 106 to tie. I mean, 56 to tie. Excuse me. Christian Unpronounceable. I'm done with Fantastic Four versus Superman. I'll be seeing both. Here.
Who isn't?
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people, but out of this crew, I think who isn't is accurate. Again, 57. We've got thus far. I'm looking at the following up. I'm convinced that Derek is trying to get everybody to become a member of this channel. Buster Barnes, having Crypto was such a smart move. And if the movie hits and people love Crypto, you know where we see him next. That's right. Supergirl, very clever. Yeah, he'll probably show up in Supergirl as well. But I think that movie's supposed to be even a little darker, right, Mike?
I don't know. I mean, because that's based on a specific story, but the Superman movie is taking elements from other things. It's a little more heavier.
Yeah,
I would say. Seeing again, I don't know Superman. Well, I'll tell you this: we're a month and a half out for Superman, a month, and I still don't know the story.
Less than that.
I've seen parts, but I have no idea what the main crux of that movie is, and I love that.
I love that too. Yeah, it's true. Space Jesus. What if Ultraman is actually Cavill? Also, didn't realize Cody Rhodes is in the Naked Gun.
I saw that kind of before, where there's a shot of this Ultraman without his helmet. He's got kind of longish hair. I was like, if they do that
and put him in there,
I don't. It's a bold move, and I think I think the people that are excited for Superman will love that. I think there's people that will hate it.
Yeah,
but
It'd be, I don't know how they
For general audiences, I don't think they'll care.
Do you think he would do it?
No, I don't.
I don't think he'd do it either. But then again, I didn't think CM Punk would come back to WWE. Cody Rhodes in the Naked Gun. I noticed it after I watched the reaction. I don't know if I've loved the trailer more,
dude,
than I've loved that trailer.
20 years for man's laughter.
Oh my God, I died.
Take a chair. I mean,
now let me ask you this, Harloff. That movie, Naked Gun, and we didn't get to talk about it last week with Spaceballs.
Oh yeah,
those are movies that you and I grew up with.
Right.
There are generations now that don't get that parody humor where it's so on the nose.
I'll tell you what.
How do you think it's going to land? How do you think it's going to land?
I think it's going to land because I showed my 13-year-old at the time. I think she was 12. She just turned 12. She's about to be 14. And she watched Airplane and loved it.
Okay.
And loved it.
I'll tell you this. Anytime I see that trailer for Naked Gun, that OJ moment kills. Every time. Every time it kills.
It looks hilarious.
I'm just excited. Take a chair.
I want, and dude, he's trying to
the thermal goggles when he's cleaning the oven.
He's trying to get into the bathroom and to get into the shitter and he's shooting at the ceiling. It's hilarious. I cannot wait to watch that in a full theater. I cannot wait to watch.
Liam Neeson's great at comedy too.
He's very so funny. Good, underrated. Mike Joyce, that Clark should hide his powers from the world. He was willing to die for what he believed in. For Clark, there was nothing that he could do. Oh, wait, sorry.
So not true.
Missed the first part. 1, 2. I'm fine with Pa's end in Man of Steel. Pa believed that Clark should hide his powers from the world. He was willing to die for what he believed in. For Clark, there was nothing that he could do.
That's so untrue.
I like that.
In Man of Steel, he said, I agree with Roxy. I disagree with you, Mike. Yeah, Mike, I'm
disagreeing with you on everything today.
Yeah, Mike's looking for some
Clark.
peace.
There was nothing he could do.
Yeah,
I think the problem with that scene is the fact that they used Cavill because he's supposed to be like 18 years old. If they would have made it younger and used a younger actor, I think it would have added more because he's still a kid. He doesn't know what he's doing. Like I think, but the fact that he looked like Cavill and an adult,
he just like lets his dad die.
I know.
I get the intent behind the scene.
I don't know a single person. And correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I don't know a single person with a dead parent who understands that scene. I don't know one. Like watching that literally makes me not like moved. I'm angry. I'm like, go fuck yourself.
Right. Buster Barnes. Gunn said a few hours ago that the change to Flanagan's script were minimal, and it was amazing. Hence the green light. Waiting for the Snyder and Roca crash out. Why did they say something? Did they say the different? Did they say there's a lot of different changes?
I thought they talked about it a while ago. I don't know if
I think they did a whole thing on it. But they've been pretty tough on Gunn and the DCU. I think I don't know why so tough, but they've been pretty tough on him. Dingus McNally, Kristian, after seeing Elio last night, do you wish you saw F1 instead after seeing all the fantastic reviews for it? No, because I'm going to see it. And it's like, look.
When are you going to see it?
I have to. My contact at Warner Brothers told me there will be more press screenings. That's why I chose tonight. It was the premiere last. I didn't want to go to the premiere. I don't like premieres. I don't like going to those things. It's too much.
The premiere was in New York.
Yeah, I didn't want to go to a premiere, so I was like, I'm not going to a premiere. They're too late. I'll be home too late. I don't care about seeing movie stars. Contrary to popular belief, it's not a benefit in the whole thing. There's like access and all that. I didn't want to go. I like going to press screenings. I get in, I get out, I watch the movie, I'm home in time. So I'm waiting for that to happen. And plus the fact I wanted to see Leo. I didn't know when the screening, if there was going to be another screening. I didn't want to miss it. I like to know if there's things I can take my kids to, and I could take my little one to see this one, but she could also wait for digital and she'd be just as good. She really wants to see How to Train Dragon, Lilo and Stitch, the live action on live action now that she's seen the original.
I still haven't seen the live action one.
Is F1 getting really good reviews, Rox?
It's crushing.
Good. I can't wait. Well, Kaczynski's nailing it.
It's getting. I mean, people are saying it's the best movie of the year.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait. It's one of my most anticipated. I can't wait. I love race car movies. I don't know why. Kenya King, Sophie Thatcher as DCU Harley Quinn.
I think that would be an unbelievable choice, but she is a little young.
Who is that?
That's the girl from Yellow Jackets who also was just in the movie Companion.
Oh, I missed both of those.
She's really good. She would absolutely nail it.
Great.
She's like a little cuckoo bananas.
How old is she?
Well, Yellow Jacket, she plays a high schooler. So
let's see. Sophie.
I would guess she's probably 25.
I'll say this. I'll go out and say this right now. I think it's a very long time before we see Harley Quinn in the DC.
Right.
The
So you might.
DCU.
So maybe by that time, if you're both
Yeah.
right, then maybe by that time she'll age into it, Rox.
But
I think
also
Margot-
think that she is very much in the Margot Robbie direction and camp. They kind of can have similar looks. So I wonder if they really want to switch it up with Harley and do something completely different. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Ed at the movies. Great conversation today. Thank you, Ed. Thank you for being authentic and yourselves. It's very kind of you. I appreciate that, Ed. Always nice to hear something like that. Thank you. Droopy McCool. YouTube super chats is terrible. It autocorrects on accidents and F's up my whole sentence. Wish I could do more and tell you what I think, but the super chat won't let me. Streamlabs better. It does, but I don't use Streamlabs anymore. Unfortunately, super chat's the only way to do it.
I have people ask me about that on my channel, Kristian, why you don't use Streamlabs anymore. And I'm baffled by it because YouTube takes so much money from me.
Yeah, I know. It's because it wasn't the goal, was just the money.
Okay.
It's a matter of it's convenient. It can be people to and I have to go back and forth to managing the thing and doing it. It's just it really isn't, contrary to popular belief. It has nothing to do with money wise. It's just a matter of doing, okay, this is an easy way for people to access it, and that's how we do it. So Jay Anderson, it's sad to me that everything is so divisive. No matter the actor playing the hero or tone, no incarnation of a superhero will be universally loved. I mean, wasn't Christian Bale pretty close? Wasn't Michael Keaton pretty close?
Oh, not at the beginning. I mean, it's still not, people think Keaton, he's too small. Like, I would say of right now, the most beloved actor in a role is Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I think across the board, he's the one that people love.
What about RDJ and Chris Evans?
Yeah, those are good ones too. Those are good ones.
Those are good too.
All right, so we're gonna move on, but before, let's see, keep going. Where is it? Next one. Sorry, horrendous. Thank you. Roxy, would you be willing to audition as Karen Weed when they make a biopic about her trial? The resemblance is uncanny. You know, if it wasn't for you, Roxy, I wouldn't even know what this was. And then I saw it on the news the other day. It's like, oh, that's the thing that Roxy.
Yeah. Yes, that would be an absolute dream for me. I so badly want to do right now, guys, for Rejects. I'm watching the am I allowed to say that I'm doing this? No, I'll just say I'm watching a serial killer thing. Oh, okay. And my favorite performance of all time is Charlize as Eileen in Monster. I'm not calling Karen a killer. I'm not saying she did it, but oh my God, would this be like, I think, because I have crazy eyes and everybody's always told me that my whole life. And I know it. I think I would do such a good job on trial for murder, not in life, in a role.
Okay. Right. What would do better in the box office, that Roxy or this movie?
That happened so fast. That happened so fast.
That was Luke. Luke sent that over. That was so good.
You put the helmet on in the face and the strap on my chin.
It's so good.
What picture of you is that?
I don't know.
I think it's one of the Harloff's ones.
I think it's one of the ones that I've sent Luke for like screen.
Yeah,
Luke,
it's got to be because it looks like your backyard or something.
Luke has an advantage.
Oh, come on, Harloff. You mean to tell me the pictures of me like this?
Oh, yeah.
In a tank?
Luke's probably going to do 10 of them.
Here's the thing. Hey, here's someone really talented. If you're very talented, put me in that parade this past weekend. Put me in one of those tanks.
That's where I thought.
You want that on the internet, Mikey? Okay.
Oh, God.
Droopy
Let me making fun of it.
Droopy cool. Christian's response to Roxy's. Wow. Yeah, that was true.
Wow.
No, it's the end that is killing it.
Okay.
It's the end. Just end it with wow. What happened? What happens? What happens in the transition? It's like
I think she gets proud of herself and she messes it up.
It's just wow. That's it. Now,
okay,
this is what you do. You go like this.
Okay, wait. Let me try. It's just wow.
Yay!
Was that right?
Yeah, much better than what you were doing. This is what you were doing. You were doing this. Wow.
Wow.
Why is that happening?
It's just
Tim,
wow.
MCU guy trying to get into DC. MCU comp for Clayface. Oh, what's I guess what's the
Who's
closest?
a Marvel version of Clayface?
Yeah, Mike would know better than me.
Yeah.
Wait, Marvel's comparison to Clayface. I don't know if they have one. Shapeshifter that's not really.
Would it be like Darkman? Would Darkman be close? But I know it's not MCU. But would Darkman? No.
Darkman's just masks in his face.
Okay.
I don't know.
Go pal. I just brought my dad home from the hospital. He had minor surgery last week and doing well. I'm glad to hear it. Go pal.
There you go, man.
Go, pal.
68 guys. 68.
No, we gotta put in work right now.
Not bad. Droopy McCool. Really want to watch Sticks. Tires is great. We need more comedy these days. Adults looks interesting. Wife loves the Pit.
I love that you love these. Not to be that girl, but it's just one stick.
Just one stick. Mark, Jason, Ali, Roxy. I think you'll like Totally Completely Fine. It's a couple years old. Stars Thomasin McKenzie. She's amazing in it. And how's your family doing? That's nice.
I don't, Mark Jason Ali, thank you so much. Missing your name. I don't go back and watch shows unless it's December or January and I've missed out on the year. I try to stay so up to date with my shows that I don't have time for a couple of years old anymore unless they're going to have new seasons. That's kind of like how I hit so many of them. My family is doing okay. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'll say about that.
All right. Googly. Have you seen the show about the TV reporter who hangs out with the movie scooper with the will they won't they relationship? Is that true? Is that a true show?
TV reporter
hangs out with a movie scooper.
I don't know. Maybe they're talking about Roca and Snyder.
Hilarious. But Roca's not a TV reporter.
Maybe that's his way of saying it.
Is it? I don't know if he. I'm not sure. All right, let's see.
The best.
We got. I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna put to that, Mike? I'm gonna make a little video. I'm gonna put the Stripes music.
Oh God.
On there. Matt Krugman. Haven't seen Pitt yet, but I will for Noah Wiley. I love him. I wasn't old enough to be on the ER train during its run, but I was a huge Falling Skies fan.
Emmy winning. Yeah. He's phenomenal in it.
Yeah. Eric Slaby, have you guys seen Fubar season 2 yet? I haven't seen 1. It's pretty funny and entertaining. 5 episodes in, definitely worth a watch. I got to see episode 1.
I didn't see season 1 either. Yeah. Not enough people recommended this to me.
Yeah.
If you guys
Schwarzenegger, right?
Yeah.
Come on. Why are you in the dark? Look at this.
Come on. Why are you in the dark?
You got.
Is that? Hold on. Was that Schwarzenegger, Roxy?
Wow.
Please do that again.
Please do it
again. Come on, do it again. Come on, let's hear it.
All 3 of us say one sentence as Arnold. I'll start, and then Mike, you go next. Ready?
Okay.
Yesterday, I went to the store and I got myself a ham. It was delicious.
Roxy, come on. You know my secret to my protein shakes.
No. You got to say that, Mike. You didn't.
Oh,
say
the same thing. Okay.
We'll do it again. Hold on.
Same line.
I know. I went to the pizzeria yesterday. I ordered 1 pepperoni. It's delicious.
I went to the pizzeria yesterday. I ordered 1 pepperoni. It's delicious.
Go ahead, Roxy.
I went to the pizzeria. I ordered 1 pepperoni.
Are you a vampire?
Yeah, are you the count from? I ordered 1 pepperoni.
I ordered 1 pepperoni.
So the most amazing thing is I just watched the Terminator movies for the first time for Real Rejects, and the way that it opens, because I thought I was about to nail Schwarzenegger, but I didn't practice before, and so
I watched some of that. I would say I loved your whole crew. Nobody did it.
Wait, what are you talking about?
For the crew that has done Arnold on Real Rejects, nobody.
But this was just the opening of the video, and so I opened. I said, "I'll be back." And everybody was like, "What?" That's
pretty rough. Yeah, the guy with the mustache gave it a shot, and I was like, "Oh, I hope he's gonna get it." He didn't get it. Unknown. Roxy, you need to be watching Love Island USA.
I know. I just don't think I can do it, man, because everybody's talking about it right now. Apparently, this one girl, America voted to split up this couple. Everyone is talking about this. People you would never expect to be talking about this. Like I saw Soups did a story on this. I see my friends that have like literally nothing to do with the reality shows talking about this. Love Island is everywhere right now. Do you guys know how many episodes they air a week?
63.
They air 7 episodes a week.
A week? Who
They
has
air
time for
one
that?
episode a day.
Who's time for that?
That's what I'm saying. It's just like everybody is always like, how do you watch so much TV? And it's like, I think that's the line for me.
I know. I can't do that. Mumra, did you all see the new Paul Rubens doc on Max?
I haven't watched it yet, but it looks amazing.
It
And I
is good.
hear that it really it does justice to Paul Rubens.
Oh,
so
good.
I want to see it.
Good. Banana sandwich. Arr.
Banana sandwich.
Why does he have an accent? Why do you have an accent at the end? Well, Dingus
Roxy goes off
McNally.
script and it
Yeah,
goes
she
to
she
shit.
just turns them into new people. Dingus McNally, the Bruce Springsteen biopic trailer comes out tomorrow. Ooh, yeah, I will do a trailer reaction for that one. Also, how do you feel about Jeremy Allen White as Springsteen? That guy could do. He could play anybody he wants. I think he's one of the greatest. I think he's one of the greatest right now. I love him. He's great.
You guys know that Bruce Springsteen's my favorite artist of all time. I'm absolutely obsessed with him. My mom traveled around and went to over 50 of his shows. The last thing her and I ever did together was go to a Bruce Springsteen concert. I am so obsessed with him. My siblings and I all went this last year. You don't get more obsessed with somebody than I am with Bruce Springsteen. And
Your
I
mom
think
was a roadie for Springsteen?
for real. Like she
Yeah.
was obsessed with him. No, she didn't go with it. She just went to the shows.
She didn't travel around.
No, she
Not a
was
roadie.
just like a fan.
Yeah.
She
So-
left me in a boiling hot car once, Mike,
Ooh.
when I was 6 weeks old because she saw.
I was
Bruce
going to say,
Springsteen.
Roxy, did your mom travel with Bruce Springsteen before your met your father? You
She never traveled with
Bruce
him. She
Springsteen's
traveled-
daughter there.
traveled around him. That would be amazing. I actually think my dad kind of looks like Bruce Springsteen sometimes. But anyway, I think that Jeremy Allen White is a perfect casting here. But I'm super curious to hear the musical side of this. That's the part where it's like,
that's always the trick.
right. Does he look like him? Yes. Do I think he's going to do an amazing performance job? Yes. What are they doing with the music? I don't know.
That's going to be interesting. Eric, Mike, when do you think that Bond will be cast? Also, who should be cast? After seeing The Gentleman, I think Theo James would be perfect. Well, before that, and also I think Theo James, I think he's roguish enough. However,
You think he's what?
I don't think he's roguish enough.
Oh.
But I will say it looked like what's that brand of it's the brand of the watches or whatever to the this commercial. They already said they signed on Aaron Taylor Johnson, which is like the Bond. I can't remember what it is. Some brand.
Omega's the Bond watch.
I think
Usually Omega.
I feel like maybe it was Omega. The chat can tell me if I'm right or wrong. But Omega announced Aaron Taylor Johnson as their new spokesperson. That to me kind of says he's going to be Bond.
It was Omega then.
Yeah.
I don't know, Eric. I think they are, since it's gone to Amazon now, I think they're fast tracking that much more than in the previous regime. But I really don't know, man. I think they've got to crack the story before they go for an actor.
Look at this.
I don't know.
Look at this. Derek Johnson just gifted 20
Derek
members.
Johnson.
Wait, can I
20
ask you guys? Thank you, DJ. Can I ask you guys if you think Aaron Taylor Johnson would be a good Bond?
Yes.
I
think
do.
he has. I think he has that roguish
Yep.
thing. Yeah. Whoa, Derek throwing 20 more in there. I'm telling you, we're gonna have 1,000 members by the time Derek's done with this.
Go, Derek.
Evil John Madden and Roxy. I was thinking about you over the weekend, not only in that way. Oh, Evil John Madden, but I was watching a TV show. Have you watched Sherlock and Daughter, a CW show, but also on HBO Max? David Thewlis is Sherlock. No, I've never seen it.
You are evil, John Madden.
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay. That's it.
Well, people who don't talk about masturbating to me will get more of a response.
That's also fair. Truman McCool.
Oh.
That's fair. Dr. Pepper helps with the farts. Okay.
Huh.
There you
I don't
go.
drink soda.
Well, maybe you
Maybe
should.
That's my problem.
Maybe you should.
Alexander Wilson. They just played the teaser for the Springsteen biopic. What? Where? Where's the teaser? And they played the original demo of Born in the USA, and I think this movie is going to be a classic. Thoughts? I haven't seen it. Is it out already?
Let's see.
Well, here you go. So don't feel bad, Roxy. Look at this. Evil John Madden. I thought about you too, Mike. Wink, wink. Nudge.
Well, I would hope so.
Oh, that's how you feel, Mike. Wow.
Jesus, look at that. Roxy, you can either not like it or embrace it. I embrace it.
That's right. I'm gonna go and I want to check. I can't wait to check my Twitter and see all the tank images later. I really hope
can't
that we
wait.
get about the tank images, like
I can't
old
wait.
Fighter Live days. Mike Joyce, to continue with fart conversation since Kristian cut you off. Huh?
Okay. Let's talk about the farts.
Mike, what is happening?
What's going on with Mike Joyce today? You have a stroke?
Mike Joyce, you having a stroke?
Yeah. So
Let us know, Mike. We'll send help.
Yeah. What's
He
happening?
sent money for us to continue with the fart conversation.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Mike Joyce. Wait, was that a serious conversation? Never mind. Ignore my last. What are you talking about? I don't know.
Roxy's bowels. That's what we're talking about. Her bad bowel.
I don't know what he's talking about. Top dog, RLG. Roxy, I never said you look like a potato. I said your webcam's a potato. You look like an angel, as always. Oh, P.S. I love you, but never do that wow again. Yes. Don't do it. Mikey and his tank is a fun chat GPT idea. Yeah. I'm telling you,
God.
I'm checking my Twitter later, and I'm really hoping that I just get bombarded with Mike Tank images. Joey Pedras, I think the Superman looking like a CW show argument is silly. What do you think is the best shot superhero movie? And Mike's not going to agree, but Dark Knight.
Best shot superhero movie?
Yeah, Dark Knight.
Oh man.
Same, Christian.
Logan's really well shot as well.
I think Man of Steel is pretty damn well shot.
It is.
Very
I
well
think it
shot.
is.
Eric Slavy, what would be another low-budget DC film like Clayface that you guys would make? Mine would be the question as noir, detective, thriller type film.
Question would be
Mr.
great.
Freeze.
Okay.
Said it over and over again. I think that there should be a standalone Mr. Freeze movie, and I think you can make it low budget.
It's
Question would be great.
Steve-o. For all best movie and best show so far this year, I'm sticking with Sinners right now. I didn't see F1, so I'm going to stick with Sinners, and I didn't see the other one that the romantic comedy everybody's talking about with Dakota Johnson.
I'm so excited for it. I haven't seen it either.
About that one. So right now, I still got Sinners. Sinners is still my number one right now.
What a show.
Best Andor season 2.
Mikey?
The Pit and Mission Impossible.
I think probably Sinners for me and Adolescence.
Okay. Larry Quartowitz. To be fair, Superman has to be very careful when he even holds someone's hand so he doesn't crush their bones. It's true. He didn't know how to use his powers yet. Well, when you're saying when he was trying to save his dad, I mean, I guess, but still, you'd still try. He didn't even try.
I can't even justify the comment.
Yeah, he didn't even try. I understand that you're trying to make excuses.
If you try and fail, you try and fail.
Right. Armada, Mike driving a tank, chasing him from Tom Cruise the next time. I'm telling you, be creative. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna put all of them on screen. I'll put them all on screen for sure. Levi, Dinos, Marvel's First Family, Big Blue in July. I'm here for it, and multiple viewings of each. I'm thinking if they're all good, you're gonna have fun doing that. I mean, Jurassic World's right around the corner. Top dog, Friedberg and Seltzer killed the spoof movie, but I really hope with Naked Gun and the Waynes coming back to Scary Movie next year, it makes a comeback. You and me both. I just want
Those guys, that was like Spartan movie or whatever. They weren't even spoof movies. It was like
it was just
it was awful.
It was just bit after bit. There's
like spoofs need to be clever,
and they have story. They have a story going on. It's not just bit in the next scene. Let's spoof this scene leading into that scene. It's like even like Spaceballs is a spoof on Star Wars, but there's a story going on. Yes. Armada, Batman and Clayface film over under 30%. I'm with Roxy. I'm going to go under.
Over.
Roxy, you already said under.
Yeah. You're with me.
Yeah. Kaz, did Roxy say Amazing Spider-Man 2 should be viewed as a rom-com?
Yeah, and that has the most devastating ending ever. If you're watching it, I love that movie. I'm the only person I've ever met who loves that movie.
I don't hate it as much as I used to. It's not
like
good.
Parts.
Yeah, I think I like. You know
Their
what?
chemistry is
Off the
insane.
chart.
It's insane.
If it's just the two of them in the movie, it's a good movie.
Yeah,
So watch it as a rom com, and you will like it.
You know that so Paul Giamatti in that movie is doing the accent that Roxy's been doing this entire show.
I am the Rhino.
Come on, Spidey.
Come on, Spider-Man.
That's one you can do. Do the Rhino, Roxy.
Come on, Spidey.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Right.
Pretty accurate. Alexander Wilson. The crazy thing about Elio is that like an hour it's not an hour long. Oh no, sorry.
You don't have your glasses.
Nope. The crazy thing about Elio is that like an hour ago, it is an 81 favorable on Rotten Tomatoes. I really want to see how this legs out. I don't think it's going to do well, though. I'll say that. I don't think it's going to do well. I think that it's a decent movie. I can't imagine it crushing. I don't know if it'll bomb, but I don't think it's going to be like a massive hit. It's one of those movies that I think that people discover on Disney Plus. Oh, that was cute. Edit the movies. Okay, now Mike in a tank. I would hope so. I would hope somebody does that. I haven't checked my Twitter to see if anybody else had tagged me on one yet, but I'll go check. The Fig Freak, Love for Rocks. Can you fire Mike as Arnold? Oh yeah. He wants you to be Arnold and fire Mike.
No, I got it. I'm prepping.
Figure out how to do it.
I'm doing my vocal warm-ups.
Okay.
You're fired.
Wow. That's brutal. Wow. That sounds like, I don't know who you're fired.
Yeah.
The guy that should be wearing
Mike.
like 1970s pants going, you're foul.
You're foul. Mike.
Wow. Dr. Brooklyn, I'm currently drinking a warm flute glass of Sydney Sweeney's bathwater. Gross. It's everything I expected and more fun. Fact, it pairs nicely with guacamole.
I'll soap up the pits and nuts with that bad boy. Lather up.
You guys know this is a real thing, right?
Yeah.
I know. I'm going to order one. I'm going to soap these nuts and pits up.
Soap them up.
Pits and nuts, baby.
You fired.
You're fired. Back.
Armada, how much you gonna bet Snyder and Bibbs dislike F1? I don't know. I think Snyder will like
100%
F1.
they'll hate it. 100%
Bibbs
they'll
will.
hate it.
Bibbs will. But Snyder might like
Who do
it.
you disagree with more often?
Bibbs. Out of the two of them,
Yeah, me
Bibbs.
too.
They're both excellent writers. Bibbs to me. I can tell you
their opinion. They voice their wrong opinions very well.
when a ridiculous movie is getting hated by everyone, I can almost guarantee you that Bibiani is going to like it. I can guarantee it.
Yeah.
A lot of times. Simon Section didn't know that Mikey was appearing in the sequel to Eddie Murphy Dudley Moore comedy Best Defense 2: The Search for the Outrider. Is that where you're going to be in the tank?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Down for that. All right, let's see. Give me a second. Okay.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Wait. Before we do that, I think I want to make sure I can do this. Actually, you know what? This is the next one. Armada. Karen Reed didn't do it. It was Tara Reed. Just kidding.
You missed Eric Slaby.
We did? I thought I just did that one. Yes,
Eric Slaby?
Where is it? Hold on. I'm looking. Oh, you're right. Sorry. Thank you, Roxy. Monica Barbaro from Top Gun. Yeah, that's what it was. Is the other lead in Fubar, and she's awesome. So that's the one from Wonder Woman. After seeing her in this, I can see why she's a possibility for Wonder Woman.
I also want to shout out Buster Barnes, who you missed earlier too, because I tracked these. Said, honestly think there's a possibility we get Batman 2 and DCU Batman released with 12 months of each other. Now with all the talk, sounds good to me. Fire.
Okay. Well, we'll double check. We'll see. Where is the next one here? Okay, hold on. Here it is. That's the best one.
with the logo.
That's the best one.
That's really good.
That's
like
really
I'm driving it. I've got a wedding ring. It's perfect.
really good.
So you can't tell if you're excited or
Oh,
I'm in a tank. Of course I'm excited.
oh my god, yeah, you have one of those goofy faces in there. I'm telling you. Yeah, Luke's got the advantage because he's got all the great shots. That was a great one. That's my favorite one. That one I'm gonna play. I gotta put some music to that. Dun, 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 dun. That's Police Academy. But that'd be good to put it to also. Next one. Peter Kalenko started watching Department Q. Matthew Good is great in other shows, movies. Think he'd be good as Voldemort? Well, I think they already cast Voldemort, didn't they? They already cast Voldemort, I thought.
who?
Wasn't it? Wait, who did they cast as Voldemort? Oh, no.
No, they cast Snape.
No, it may be.
And no, they cast Malfoy, Lucius Malfoy.
Oh, yes. No, yeah, Matthew Good would be. You know what he was excellent in was The Offer.
He was so good in The Offer. That's what I was just thinking, Christian. I have been hearing that Department Q is making some people's top 10 of the year list. I wasn't going to watch this, but
someone told me about that recently. I can't remember who it was. Someone said they really saw it and said it was good. Mr. ND Fanatic, Mike's face put in the GoldenEye tank scene. Yeah,
I'll take that one.
Please, people got to keep, if you find it like, and for Luke and PLD, if you guys see anything on Twitter, anybody tag me, I can't check my Twitter yet. C. Michael T. Thomas Hayden Church is great as Shane's dad in Tires. Oh, does he play the dad? I love him. He's great. Same man.
Thomas Hayden Church. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're fired, Mike.
Eric Slavey, where would Batman Begins rank comic book movie all time? For me, it's in the top 5. I'm with Ellis too and liking it more than Dark Knight, but both are great. A lot of people like that one better.
100% it's better than Dark Knight. 100%.
I don't agree with that, but a lot of people do. Yeah, a lot of people agree with that.
I love the entire TDK trilogy. All 3 of them are in my top 5.
I think they're great. Comic book movie of all, I don't know. There's just so many of them. I don't know. I don't know.
It's top 5 for me, but I don't know where it'd be.
Brandon, love Brandon Summers. Brandon, I just had your doppelganger on Matt Sarah's show. Rashad Evans was on there. Today is a prime example for why lawyers drink. I need a beer at 9 a.m. Cheers. Also, Kristian, can you reread this in your mocking trolls voice? Sure. Why not?
Today
is a prime example for lawyers drink. I can't even do it. It's got to be natural, I think.
What is this comment about?
I don't know.
Oh.
Sure, probably something going on.
I don't know whether this is a Karen Reed thing or
9 a.m. Cheers. Also, Kristian, can you reread this in your mocking troll voice?
and is this also do lawyers drink a lot? Is that a known?
I guess. I mean, he would know better than us.
Maybe you got to drink.
Yeah. That's great. Armada says Breaking Harold and Kumar 4 coming. Is that with the Cobra Kai dudes? I hope so. I mean, it would make sense that they're doing it. That's great. Good. I thought Kumar took a break. Droopy McCool, that Paul Rubin stock was awesome. Very raw. Is it?
I hear it's really good. I'm so excited for it.
All right, we've come to an end at the moment with 5 minutes left, and you're at 81. So Roka's got the victory right now.
Rough showing today.
Rough? 81's great. 81 in a normal rough. That's pretty good. Oh, there's another one. Julius Wyatt. I prefer Across the Spider-Verse over Into the Spider-Verse. I'm crazy. That's okay. I like the first one better than the second one.
Yeah.
First. We got a really. I always love the when the ones that make you think come in. Josh says, "Mr. Poopy Butthole." Thank you. Brandon Summers. I am a lawyer, Roxy, and yes, we drink a lot. I mean,
what's your comment in reference to? Because I want to know, is it a Karen Reed thing? Because I'm curious.
I think he's probably just having a rough day at work. Needs a drink.
Him.
Yeah. Him as a lawyer, he's like, today's one of those days.
One of those days. Yeah. Look, I'm sure. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to do it. No lawyer stuff. I wouldn't be able to do lawyer. I wouldn't be able to do cop. I couldn't do it. I already see it. I see enough bad inhumanity being in this space. You can only imagine. No, thank you. Roxy, what do you got going on? Channel, everything?
Yeah, every Wednesday and Sunday on my channel. On Wednesdays, we talk about all different kind of news, political news, entertainment news, TV, movie, whatever, personal. And then on Sundays, we talk television and movies. So I give all big rundown of all the shows that I'm watching. That's live at the Roxy, youtube.com/Roxy Stryer.
Michael Kalinowski?
Just riding around in tanks all week. That's all I'm going to do.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. As always, we got one more here too. Support for Mike's laugh says,
there you go, buddy.
Fig tree. That was very, very nice. Thank you. Support for Mike's laugh. Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. What a fun show it was today with myself, Roxy, and Mike. We'll be back here tomorrow with Chris Carr, potentially Brett Sheridan. We don't know yet. Maybe not. But definitely Chris Carr. So we'll be back here tomorrow. Please join us. Make sure you comment. Listen to us on Spotify. Comment. If you are able to get one of our wonderful sponsors, please do it. Please do it. It helps out the show so much. It keeps us going. So thanks for Mike. Thanks for Roxy. Thanks for all of you guys. I appreciate you. And we'll see you on the flip side. Bye.